You're listening to That's Life here at the Nachum Segal Network, and my next guest joins me on the air. It is the most creative man I have met in terms of the art world in a very, very long time. Rabbi Yitzchok Moully is the head of the Creative Soul. He has joined us on That's Life here before, and he's actually here to talk about something very interesting, something unusual in the New York area during chol hamoed. It's the fourth annual celebration of creativity. It's the Crown Heights Community Art Show. Good morning, Rabbi.
Good morning, Miriam. That's quite an intro. Thank you very much.
No, well, listen, it certainly earned it. I keep looking at all the different art that you post online, and I look at it longingly. The new piece that you did of the colors coming out of the shofar?
Yes.
Incredible. Tell me how, we'll even talk about the art show in a second. I really encourage people to go to your Facebook page, correct?
Yes.
It's the Creative Soul.
TheCreativeSoul.org on Facebook.
CreativeSoul.org. Tell me, and as people are looking at the images, and I really hope they are looking at the images, tell me how that piece with the shofar and the colors coming out came to be.
You know, that's quite an evolution of that particular piece, and what I've wanted to do is actually make short YouTube videos explaining my pieces, because there's always a story. The long story is I started with an image of actually my father-in-law. I got a shofar, I put him up on a hill where there was just a hill and sky, and him blowing the shofar, I put a really, a serious background, and this was, a few years ago was my Tishrei piece, the shofar, and then I turned it into a piece of pop art, and I created this image of the man with the shofar, and I created the streaks of color going off the canvas. That's a previous piece, off the canvas onto a variety of small canvases. This idea of the shofar, heralding tshuva, that it just blows off the canvas, blows out. And I came back to it again and just did exactly that. Just, this idea, this burst of color, this burst of energy, that the power of the shofar to really wake us up and inspire us.
Wow, is that piece also still on display?
That piece is it's sitting in here in my home. It may be on display in the gallery. I'm still debating as to which of my own pieces I put up in this year's fourth annual celebration of creativity.
I guess nobody's ever been inspired by their mother-in-law to put that into a piece. It's always been father-in-laws. I'm just kidding. I'm sure she's a wonderful woman. But let's talk for a second, seriously, about the upcoming event. It starts on October 12th at 8 p.m. It is open to the entire community. The gallery is located 386 Kingston Avenue. So I know we've talked briefly about the first of these celebration of creativity. So just give everyone a background about how it started and how you've evolved into your fourth year.
Well, the background is that I became a rabbi in Venice, Italy. There's a small Chabad yeshiva there. I got my smicha there, and I've always wanted to take my wife back once I got married. Finally, I did, and we met this amazing artist called David Ariel de Guglielmi that you had on,
right.
Came to do a show here, and at the time he asked me would I represent him in New York. I'm like, me? Represent? I'm a youth rabbi. I'm an artist. What do I know about representing other artists? But it planted a seed, and I was buying my Lulav and Esrog 4 years ago on Kingston Avenue in Crown Heights, and there was an empty storefront, and it was selling Lulav and Esrogim, and we all know that the shelf life for Lulav and Esrog come chol hamoed is pretty useless. You can't sell many of them.
Right. And
so I asked him, well, what are you going to do with this space? Come chol hamoed. He said, a few weeks, something. They're going to renovate it. Store. I said, hey, can I rent it for the week? So I rented the gallery, the empty storefront for $1,000. I thought, you know what? That's the worst that'll happen. I'll lose $1,000. Let's do this. And it all came about like Erev Yom Kippur, Motzi Yom Kippur. I got the final confirmation. I just put out a call to whichever friends that I knew, other artists, and I called the show Chassidim of Color. If you define yourself as a chassid, you have color to share, just bring it. Just bring it. And we hung the show. We started with 15 artists. We hung Motzi Yom Tov. By the end of the show, we had 30 artists. It was just amazing. I couldn't close the doors. Officially, it was open from 12 noon to 2 a.m. Because maybe not all your listeners are aware, but there is a Simchat Beit HaShueva, in Crown Heights that the dancing starts at 9 p.m. and goes literally till 6 a.m. The police have to push the dancers off the road. Thousands of people come from all over. And it was just the perfect opportunity to put up a show. And we did, and literally thousands of people came into the gallery. People were really impressed, and it just touched off this idea, like, wait a second, like, we're onto something. The need for creativity, the need for expression, the need for the recognition that creativity is an integral part of Judaism and a tool to enhance our Judaism.
Right.
And when people look at me and they're not sure what I'm talking about, I said, we'll start with a nigun. What's a really soulful nigun? Explain that to me, and then I'll take your words and I'll explain back to you what the rest of creativity can do. So that was the first show, and we've been doing it ever since.
I love. Sorry to interrupt, but I was just going to say that I love how in your press release it says, due to the gallery's proximity to the dancing on the street, the gallery is accessed via 486 Crown Street around the corner.
Well, the way it is that actually it's. Half the street is the men's section, and then the other one sidewalk is the men's section, the other sidewalk is the ladies section, and the store is on the men's sidewalk section. So, they kind of there's barricades around. There's so many people that yes. Thank you for bringing that to your listeners' attention. In order to get in, the entrance will be via the back entrance through the neighbor's house.
Right, and we thank the neighbors and their walkway for access to the gallery. Absolutely.
During the day until 9 p.m., everyone is welcome to come through the front entrance. But once the dancing starts, it's going to be a little bit difficult.
Right, and you also wrote that on Tuesday, October 14th, the Creative Soul will host a ladies-only dance party in the gallery, dancing outside for the men, and ladies and girls in the community will have a chance to dance and celebrate in their own space right near the action. I'm so pumped. I actually spoke to one of the organizers of the Music Astound crew, and they're working on getting me a direct feed from the music of the men's dancing. Because we were talking with a few different women's groups. There's Bulletproof Stockings. There's some really amazing, women performers to create a concert for the ladies in the space, which is right there. And they fell through. People are out of town, took us, so on. So they were thinking of just doing, like a DJ, DJing their own music, and then there's this idea of getting the same feed. So the women are dancing, of course, in a closed space. But it's the same music. It's right there. You could probably feel it. It's so close. But they're going to have their own feed, hopefully, and so they'll be dancing to the same music that the men are dancing outside in. The 4th annual Celebration of Creativity show is open for a month. All the works that are on display there are available for sale. Just let our listeners know with a minute or two left, who are they supporting when they purchase one of the pieces of art?
So they're, number one, supporting the artists. The artists are Jewish artists from all over. We have from Italy, from Israel, a few artists from Israel, from a lot from the States, from New York. So definitely supporting living artists who can, then go on and continue to produce art, and they're supporting the Creative Soul. We've recently incorporated, and we're in the process of becoming a 501c3, a nonprofit.
Nice.
We have a permanent gallery. We do a show every month. The current show up in the gallery is called Spiritual Defense, Mitzvahs for the Spiritual Defense of the Land of Israel. And each month we have a different, either solo show or group show, exploring themes and ideas that are relevant to the Jewish community and to the Crown Heights community.
Well, that's incredible. The entire concept is incredible. I look forward very much. I will not be able to be at this event. Please God, I will be in Eretz Yisrael for Sukkot, but I very much look forward to coming to the gallery and to seeing everything on display, because if your artwork is just a tip of the iceberg of what's available at any one of these shows, and it is certainly not to be missed.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And everything is going to be on our Facebook page. Again, Facebook /thecreativesoul.org, and as well as our own website, thecreativesoul.org.
Again,
so those who will not be able to see it in person will be able to see the work online.
Excellent. And again, it is the Sunday of Chol Hamoed, October 12th at 8 p.m., 386 Kingston Avenue in the heart of Hasidic Brooklyn. Rabbi Moully, Gmar Tov to you. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I look forward to speaking to you again soon, and good luck with the show.
Thank you very much.